everybody, and welcome back to another Wuthering Waves video. Today we are going to be looking at the in-game version 3.1 preview. That's right, my friends. A trend started in version 2.8 where at the end of the patch they will start putting up the actual information of what is coming next patch, so we can stay hyped and also have a little more information than usual than what we see from the live stream. Because look, man, the live stream sometimes for people starts at like crack in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning, and also it's an hour. Sometimes people don't really have the interest to watch all of that, especially because it is always with subtitles. But now that these previews are in game, we are able as the players to see all of what is going to be happening in the next patch, but also a little extra information that we can also not see in the live stream. So I read it so you don't have to, and we can get started on that very soon. But before I do get started, I do want to make sure that I point something out about some of my recent videos. Is that first off, I have made 2 guide-esque videos in the last few days, one that is about the Moonlit Path and also one that is about the new Transducers. Now, however, for the Transducers, I do want to point out that I did actually make an error, and it's going to take me a few days to redo all of these graphics, but I will be able to fix it. But right now I just want to set the record straight and make it clear. So the Transducer is an item that lets you re-roll echo substats. However, the ascension in which I put these in is incorrect, because the way this item is supposed to work is that I perceived it as I unlock 2 stats, therefore I re-roll. What is it? These are the 2 that get re-rolled, and then everything else stays the same. It is actually the opposite. Is that if I use one transducer here, these 3 stats are the ones that will be re-rolled and not the other way around. Same thing here. So now I use 2, so these 3 stats stay locked, these 2 get re-rolled, these this one here on sniper mode, as I call it, 3 transducers here, and then this one stays locked, so you can specifically snipe out rolls that you want to get. And again, give me a few days to fix these graphics. It does take me a little bit more time to go back and correct all of these things, and I will be leaving it, if I ever make a mistake, in the pinned comments. There's already a pinned comment right now saying that, hey, this part of the video right here, this little like 5-minute segment is wrong and I do need to fix it. But everything else in these videos still stands. The issues with the RNG, the issues of how much it costs, and you can see all that there, and as well as my opinions on where the ecosystem is currently at on a quick and dirty. But yes, again, thank you guys so much for the turnout on these videos. Like, subscribe, I always appreciate, but the comments, so many of you left comments talking about how you feel about these spending events, transducers, etc., and where your account stays at right now, and the reasoning that why you like or dislike this thing. And I always appreciate comments that are here to discuss about the content, because that is what we're here for. So again, thank you guys so much for having so much support for these videos, and I really do hope I can make more. But today we're gonna do our usual fare of content, and that is just me talking about what is happening in the world of Wuthering Waves right now. So let's go ahead and hop in right now to the event tab itself. Oh man, and we're right in front of the sim pod, baby. I was trying to find the NPC that was in Aemeath's trailer, but she actually is gone. I only see her in the quest, so I'm like, dude, that sucks. But let's get started. For here we go. Opens on February 5th for You Who Walk in Snow version 3.1. New resonators and weapons, so this is kind of the obvious stuff. We'll get this out of the way. One thing that's actually unfortunate is that last time I do believe they did show the other character banners. Currently I'm noticing that they're not actually showing the other character banners outside of the new ones, but of course Aemeath is going to be in the first phase, of course, everyone's favorite, as someone called in the comments, Pinkie Pie. So but yes, she's gonna be up front and center, and she will be probably super duper important to the quest, as we'll read in just a second. But yes, she's going to be first, and of course, lucky for you, if you're not super into Aemeath, if you're one of the few people who enjoy the males in this game, like Luuk. I love Luuk, I think he's cool. I kind of want to get him, gotta see how he plays though. He is on the second phase, so you have time to save, and you're going to see that we're going to get some free more free asteroids as we go down the line when we talk about events. But yes, these 2 are first, and I believe if I want to talk about the banners itself, I don't have an image, but I'm pretty sure I know off the top of my head, during Aemeath's banner it's going to be a 3 banner. It's going to be Chisa and Lupa, and then on Luuk it is going to be someone I can't quite recall. You know what, we'll search it up afterwards when we get to this part. But Luuk is going to be a 2 banner, I can tell you that much at this very moment. But outside of that, of course, everyone comes with their corresponding weapon, the ever bright pole star. I mean, it's a rapier, it looks cool, but I don't know if I'm really sold on it. And then Daybreaker's spine. I don't like this. This is odd, because Luuk is a guy that's supposed to have a blade, and this looks like I literally, it's a cool looking sun thing, but that's a little, it looks like I basically like took a Roman pillar and then put gold on it. So not the biggest fan. But yes, there are other banners of course outside of these, but these are going to be the stars of the show, so just be sure to plan your pulls out accordingly if you're trying to look for Aemeath or Luuk, or maybe even both, who knows. Now the new main quest, warning, I am going to read these out for you, but if you're worried about spoilers, do skip. I have not read these yet, but last time they did this thing, and hopefully they fixed it, because I put in the feedback form. I said, hey, what is it? Don't spoil the quest. Just make the summary of the quest something basic, okay? All right. Chapter 3, Act 3, The Star That Voyages Far. After a sudden assault by the mysterious mech, your frequency loss worsens. Aemeath has appeared once more to aid you, to find a solution in your frequency loss, and to help the digital ghost reclaim her existence. Your journey into the Royal Frostlands toward the frozen and bleak lands where the Extrastrider lies in slumber. Okay, yeah, this is good. This is exactly what we got from the live stream, but also just, you know, a non-spoilery quest, so that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, hey, this is pretty cool. I have had a big critique to Wuthering Waves about how, quote unquote, saying they throw the term frequency loss at Rover a lot, but they don't actually give you a sense of what that means, you know, to the character, which really sucks, because it was a good opportunity to make Rover's power level not as high, you know, during this story, and really have to rely on the other characters instead of just themselves. So I do hope that gets to be explored in this upcoming quest. I don't really think it'll be, but it is a good thing to have Rover not be as powerful as they have been so far in the entire story of Wuthering Waves all the way from 1.0. Now we get to the absolutely crazy image. This, oh my goodness, talk about a CG. Okay, listen, Aemeath, mwah, love her. Okay, bro, this goes hard. Oh my goodness. All right, Segue, Afterstory, all the sunlight touches. After returning from the Frostlands, you consult Luuk Herssen at the Academy, informing regarding the Extrastrider's plan. The ever-smiling doctor reveals the sliver of truth behind the Fractsidus. At the same time, a Fractsidus member abducts a Royal student who you once traveled with you and retreats to a fallen space station on the Royal Frostlands. Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, again, this is decent. Not too many spoilers. I mean, you can probably ascertain that you'll probably make it back home with her. Last time they just flat out spoiled everything. It's like, brother, that's cringe. But yeah, there's always been a little bit of suspicion behind Luke because of how he acts around you, but also you know, his kind of hints and nods about he knows way more than he lets on, and he just doesn't want to talk about it. And of course, you know, everything in Luke's description alludes that he has some sort of dark past, and that is really, really interesting. And this just goes so hard. I hope this is the kind of tone, at least, that we get when hanging out with Luke, or at least 20 minutes of him talking about his past, because clearly he's done something wrong in his past, bro. Like, what got you in this situation, brother? Oh my. Now, moving on to the new region itself, the Royal Frostlands Frostland Surface. I have been waiting for this ever since they announced that the newest update was going to be taking place in a place of a frozen wasteland. This, you know, Star Torch Academy and the underground and all its technology is super duper cool, but this part right here, where we have the space station itself, as well as seeing the frozen wasteland that has now been coming to contact with the fact that the poles shifted during the lament, and why this place has turned from a lush area into a frozen wasteland. But here's the first area. Once a fjord, I think, roamed by the Roya nomads, this land has now become an expanse of ice that isolates Lahai-Roi from the outside world. The tide lost forest, so this is where the Extrastrider lies. Across the ice mist and the shepherds lead the exoswarm on their migration to the edge of permafrost. There is an ancient forest in the ice upwards in the frozen waves. Beneath them, the Extrastrider lies in slumber. So this is where we're gonna find the Extrastrider itself, and I cannot wait to climb all over this thing, and hopefully we can't just slip off of it, because that'd be awesome. The Starbrind crash site. Oh, okay, so we got a crash space station. When the lament occurred, the great eye through which humanity once observed both the universe and the earth crashed here from the sky. Using the wreckage as a foothold, and the ancient Roya resumed the survey of the Frostlands. Even today, researchers continue to study the remains that fell from the heavens. Oh, wow. Okay, so this was something that existed before the lament as a real space station, and it fell down? What? Oh, that's awesome. Mount Galilor. Towering over the Frostland surface, this is the region of the highest peak of the Royan myth claims that once this reactor drive is restored, the Extrastrider will ascend to the summit step by step, and from its pinnacle launch back into the depths of space. Oh yeah, okay, interesting. So yeah, I was always wondering what this greenery situation was about, you know, because obviously the Frostlands are basically barren, but you know, this specific part in the cave you know, has, like, you know, a very nice pink tree, and it's like, hey, how'd you get that? So this is sort of like, you know, this is like their faded area. Up half forest ruins. The fjord of ancient forests of ancient times, sealed beneath the permafrost. To study prehistoric flora preserved within the ice, the Research Institute established up half chamber nearby. Okay, Cool. So we got some cavernous areas as well. This is also something that we got to see in the live stream, but you know, this vibe is really good, and especially with Wu's exploration mechanics. I can't wait to go from like, oh, I'm gonna slide up here and then I'm gonna jump off the wall, go up here, there. It's gonna be fun. Frostland transit port. So this is the still active zone. A high traffic coastal zone. This is where the port transports air trees, I think, move personnel and supplies around the clock. Bro, I thought it said asteroids, so my brain's cooked. I've been thinking about nothing but asteroids for the past few days. Oh my. Okay, so yeah, this is what I suspect, is that they're gonna have some sort of North Pole camp center, so they can, like, you know, put things in and out of the area. New gameplay and events. Oh my goodness, this one, where stars cascade down. Invited by Luuk. Wow, she's relevant again, guys. You attend a party hosted by Lola Logistics, only to find yourself drawn to the never-ending festival. Join the revelry behind the river of stars and uncover secrets hidden within their glow. So this one's cute. This is the drink mixing event, where you just, like, you make drinks. There's also like Balatro, or like just like some pseudo card game in here, which is cute. But definitely this is where they're testing the companionship system and trying to get us to kind of be interested in, like, hey, do you want a system where there would be you know, dorms of sort, or, you know, like hanging out with characters on one-on-one. And this is a good test pilot. But hey, Wuwa, we do want those, like, you know, individual things and not having it tied to an event. So, you know, I'd appreciate that. But this is permanent anyway, so that's super awesome. Unfrozen traces. The Fractsidus of Lahai-Roi beckon curious. Many find their eyes fixed upon the endless white expanses. True seekers walk this polar region one step at a time, chasing but echoes of truth in this land and snow where silence reigns. Now join them in the exploration of the Fractsidus and go where no one has gone before. Okay, so this is literally just exploration, and I'm not even gonna read this one. Exploration again, it's the same thing. These are both the exploration events that come out every time a new explorable area comes out. So this one you're gonna do quests, this one you're gonna do region completion. Full throttle bolt and blip. So again, I don't need to read this one because I've already read it off in the live stream, but this one is basically a bike combat event. I mean, I hope it's cool. They kind of do it like Temple Run, basically, where you're just on the bike and then you like shoot and run into things sometimes. So hopefully it's interesting, although it seems that this is going to be pretty easy. This one is a very casual event. Also, you literally, there is an animal on the screen and you need to put it inside of a cage and catch it, but you only can move one cage at a time, so it's a little more difficult to do that. And then the last one, Blade Hunter Wilderness. Around the Sonora Sphere, you run across a troubled researcher who seems to have an important job for you. So I don't know what that's about. That must be something. I don't know. That just seems like some silly combat event. Lola Logistics, let's go. Gift of stuff. So after the event begins, okay, so yeah, we have our daily 5. I don't know why they didn't put the UI here. There's 5 limited polls, 5 regular polls, and then the last one, this one is a this one is just another event. It's just there. This one, like, I'm actually surprised how much they added all of these extra things, because these feels like something that would go down here and not here, but sure, what is it, why not? Let's go to the intel briefing. Star Torch for you. So once again, new rover skin, super duper awesome. And then of course all the stuff that either is free or costs money. So unsigned good wishes. This one is going to be a little deeper into the patch, so about I want to say 2 weeks after the patch actually starts, but you do get 1,600 asteroids. So, you know, if you're trying to save up for Luuk and you already pulled for Aemeath or something, this is going to be kind of your straggler pulls if you're trying to make it to there. Star Pass Intertwined, again, talked about this in my spending video, but this is not a spending event. This is a login event, and if you don't want to, and if you never pull on your account, then you will never get this thing. What is it? Or at least it'll take you a really long time, because as it stands, it's 10 points for login, and then you get points that are based on how many times you pull on any banner, and then lastly you get stuff for trophies and achievements, so make sure you do those, or make sure you don't do those right now so you actually do get that stuff. Lastly, we have the this one. Again, all of this is covered in my Moonlit Path spending video. You can check that linked in the description. But yes, these bikes, not worth it. This weekly thing, not worth it. Moonlit Path, maybe okay. What is it? Depends on if you value these 2 things here. Everything else on the track is irrelevant, including this crown. New echoes and enemies. Now this is the fun stuff, because we can start diving into theory, but let's talk about the echoes themselves first. So Sigilium, a worldless black mech lost, longing to return home. Dude, the mechs in this game are so good. And this is also, I believe, Calamity class. Yeah, so this is a boss guy, so this is super duper cool. But also there's actually more echoes, and it's kind of too bad they're not talking about them. They're only showing out the bosses. They should really kind of make it, I mean, I guess calling it Calamity class is enough for the player to understand that it is a boss, but it's still like, I don't know. Yeah, but this is also the guy in the trailer, so, you know, that is going to be interesting. But this guy, oh, I said the other day that we should have, like, you know, like a thing that are look a little more human, kind of like a space astronaut. And here we go, the nameless explorer. The station fell like a dying star, burying the dream of an era beneath ice and soil. The explorer was once who dreamed of who once walked among the stars, but now he hides in the dark, corrupted by the void. Before reason and strength slipped entirely from his grasp, he sealed himself away in the cabin. So this is literally a human being trapped inside of a spacesuit, and that's so cool. Look at how hard this design goes, bro. Dude, he's got pneumatic drills on each side of his thing. He's got a freaking tail coming out because like that's where his spaceport probably disattached, and then he's got 2 boosters and stuff. This is such a cool tacit discord slash enemy. It's such a cool thing that we get to have here. And of course we get to see the items itself. So this one is specifically tied to Aemeath with her little heart. I mean, hey, it doesn't take a genius to figure out who set that for. And then we have this one here, which is a new set, so I mean we'll see what that is in a second, but let's read the descriptions. Summon Sigilium and attack enemies dealing fusion damage when equipped in the main slot by Aemeath. Okay, well, whoop-de-doo. What do you know, guys? I think the echo is made for Aemeath. It grants legend and celebration damage bonus. Okay, so we have another unique echo that is tied specifically to one character. Not the end of the world, although I do hope it gives other stat bonuses outside of that, because if it's only for Aemeath, you know, on a regular boss, that's still kind of cringe. Summon the nameless explorer to attack enemies dealing arrow damage. The resonator with this echo equipped in their main slot deals more arrow and echo skill damage. Okay, so this is like a Choyan thing. Okay, so let's look at the things themselves. So this is also where we can start talking about theory, but let's get here first. Inflicting fusion burst or tune rupture shifting on the enemies increases the resonator's crit rate and fusion damage. Okay, so this is literally a card. This is literally the Cardathea set, except this is now for Aemeath instead in fusion burst. So that's hilarious, because you know, Windward Pilgrimage is, you know, very similar to the idea. If you do the negative status on top of your enemy, then it does this. So it's like, okay, that's cool. Inflicting, this is chromatic foam. Inflicting fusion burst grants fusion damage bonus. During this time, using an outro skill grants fusion damage bonus to the incoming resonator. What the heck? Whoa. Okay, hold on. That's ridiculous. What the heck? That's really strong. Okay, so obviously we don't have a fusion burst character, it seems, outside of Aemeath, but obviously we're going to add one in the future, because that's just kind of how the thing works. But what the heck? If you use an outro skill, grants fusion damage bonus to incoming resonators. Bro, that's ridiculous. I don't know how much, maybe it's 10 or 15, maybe 25, but that's really strong, because if you know, if we were to say, let's say we do have a fusion burst support character in the future, this means that their outro skill grants them the ability to give them even more fusion damage bonus, already on top of what fusion characters already give each other. Chang-Li, Lupa, like they all give their friends a really high fusion damage bonus. Bro, they're gonna have so much bonuses. What the heck? This is gonna be insane. All right, shoot, man, fusion keeps winning. I'll stay with it. Sound of the true name, arrow damage. Dealing air echo skill damage increases echo skill crit rate and grants arrow damage bonus. Okay, so this is literally a Choyan set. So that means that the law of harmony, whatever it is, I've never done the calcs on it because I don't do calcs in this game, but like law of harmony and moonlit and just standard arrow must have not been enough for him, so now they're giving him a set. So that's really funny. So that's right, we got one set for Aemeath, one set for mystery character, and one set for Choyan. But we do have a very important thing to talk about in the theory, and if I go ahead and flip over to the other side back on my tabs, there is someone who has posted a theory about what is going on when it comes to these echoes. So this is Magna War on Twitter. I'm going to leave this post linked in the description, but with the information presented in the live stream, it is very curious that we get to have hints about the next playable character. And this has always been the case because, you know, Sonata sets are poorly designed, easier for another day, but it makes it very obvious that there are going to be some characters who most likely are tied to these sets, and we can now theorize who it is. So based off this, they actually have a guess that Sergika is going to be an arrow-based character that may also use echo skill as their damage, because why did you release this set? Of course it's usable on Choyan, but also it could be useful on her, and these symbols kind of indicate that being the case, because Aemeath has the heart, Sergika has the sort of robotic tattoos, and then of course if we move on to the last set, that's where things get really interesting, because this is a Fractsidus symbol. That's right, my friends. I've said it since the start of 3.0, but if we have Cristoforo, Scar, and then maybe the Grand Architect as our main villains again, it's gonna be garbage. And I really highly suspect that I'm like, this is the opportunity to add a new Fractsidus member to the fray. And sure enough, this is a Fractsidus symbol, and of course it's related to fusion, so that's super duper cool, you know, to kind of have the meta keep progressing in the game. But also there is someone hiding around here who is a Fractsidus member and has been known for a long time. There are two Fractsidus members that are currently unnamed. If you search up the Fractsidus, of course there is someone who has the sort of full black mask, and then there's this person who is yet to be named, and that's super duper interesting. She seems to have white hair and a full robe, and this person was available in 1.0. so that's right, my friends, this could be the new Fractsidus member that we're getting based off the fact that this set here might look just like a Fractsidus symbol. So that's pretty awesome, honestly. So hey man, a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to in this update, and I honestly find that super duper cool. But yes, that is pretty much it for, you know, this entire summary. Again, I think that this update is really cool. I do enjoy a majority of what is coming out. I even, you know, have my opinions on the spending event, which again, you can watch the video if you want to find out what those opinions specifically are. And also transducers, you know, transducers are a cool idea, but they need significant change before they actually become something that is going to be worthwhile to the player. But that's pretty much it for me. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed more of my standard content where I'm just covering the news, you know, in Wuthering Waves. And of course I am willing to do analytical content like this. You know, I just do need to take a little bit more time and make sure I sharpen the things up. So again, give me a few days to fix this, and then I will. What is it? I definitely need to give myself some rest, because if I'm making these mistakes, that means I have not been resting properly. But if you enjoy everything we do here, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and be sure to check out all the other content we do on this channel. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.